Hello， 大家好，欢迎来到聚焦雅思课堂。那么今天我们听力课呢，需要讲解的是第9讲环保场景。那么环保场景在我们雅思的听力当中呢，也是非常重要的，因为它经常会在 Section 3或 Section 4的时候跟大家见面啊。OK， 那么这一部分的题目相对来说难度会大一点点，因为它可能不是非常为大家所熟悉，所以我们一起来看一下，一起来过一下，在这一部分的题目里面到底是会怎么出，到底它的难度会是怎么样的啊 ？OK， 来，我们看到第一个例题是从件4里面的一个真题，这是一个填空题啊。这个填空题说 The urban landscape。OK， 那么它的题目要求说 no more than 2 words for each answer， 也就是说，在这个题目里面你是不需要填任何数字的，只是需要去看一下它这个单词的填写是不超过2个就 OK 了。来，31题 ，2 areas of focus。OK， the effects of vegetation on the urban climate。Ways of planning our 什么什么，也就是说 two areas of focus， 我们所集中注意的是2个领域。第一个是 the effects of vegetation on the urban climate， 第二个呢就是 way of planning our 什么 better， 也就是说 way of doing something 就是做什么什么的方法，什么方法呢 ？Planning our 什么 better， 更好的来规划或者是规划我们的一个什么东西的更好的方式是什么？来，下面 large scale impact of trees， 也就是说 tree 的更大层面上的它的影响到底又有什么呢 ？They can make cities more or less。OK， 看到这里一个 more or less， 那么非常明显，这一定会填到一个形容词。接下来 in summer they can make cities cooler。第三个 they can make inland cities more， 同样的也是感觉是一个形容词，对吧？接下来 local impact of trees。OK， 那么 tree 对于当地的一个影响是什么呢 ？They can make local area more 怎么样 cooler, more humid, less windy, less。那么很有可能这一部分都是填的形容词，所以在这一道题里面，它考察形容词考察的非常的多。接下来我们看 comparing tree and buildings, temperature regulation, trees evaporate water through their。 那么看一下，那么树它蒸发水是通过它们的什么呢？肯定是个名词，对不对？接下来 building surfaces may reach high temperatures. Wind force 风力。Tall buildings cause more wind at 什么样的一个 level， 也就是一个名词，这个名词。Trees 怎么样的 wind force 很有可能是一个动词，因为 tree 怎么使得这个 wind 怎么样了呢？那么可能是相当于是使役动词一样的。接下来 noises trees have a small effect on traffic noise， 它对这个traffic noise 的影响是比较少的。接下来什么东西 frequency noise passes through trees， 但是呢什么东西能够穿过这个树，能够穿过树。 Important points to consider， trees require a lot of sunlight， 需要很多太阳光。 Water 还有什么，也就是说这是一个并列，我们之前也讲过，只要看到并列 sunlight water 一提到完了之后，你接下来这个单词必定是你的答案。 OK， 那么接下来呢，我们在分析过了这个题目之后，接下来我们一起来听一下这一部分的录音。
Section 4. You'll hear a talk on the subject of the urban landscape. First, you have some time to look at questions 31 to 40. Now listen carefully and answer questions 31 to 40.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I have been asked today to talk to you about the urban landscape. There are two major areas that I will focus on in my talk: how vegetation can have a significant effect on urban climate, and how we can better plan our cities using trees to provide a more comfortable environment for us to live in. Trees can have a significant impact on our cities. They can make a city as a whole a bit less windy, or a bit more windy if that's what you want. They can make it a bit cooler if it's a hot summer day in an Australian city, or they can make it a bit more humid if it's a dry inland city. On the local scale, that is in particular areas within the city, trees can make the local area more shady, cooler, more humid and much less windy. In fact, trees, and planting of various kinds, can be used to make city streets actually less dangerous in particular areas. How do trees do all that, you ask? Well, the main difference between a tree and a building is a tree has got an internal mechanism to keep the temperature regulated. It evaporates water through its leaves, and that means that the temperature of the leaves is never very far from our own body temperature. The temperature of a building surface on a hot sunny day can easily be 20 degrees more than our temperature. Trees, on the other hand, remain cooler than buildings because they sweat. This means that they can humidify the air and cool it, a property which can be exploited to improve the local climate. Trees can also help break the force of winds. The reason that high buildings make it windier at ground level is that as the wind goes higher and higher, it goes faster and faster. When the wind hits the building, it has to go somewhere. Some of it goes over the top, and some goes around the sides of the building, forcing those high-level winds down to ground level. That doesn't happen when you have trees. Trees filter the wind and considerably reduce it, preventing those very large, strong gusts that you so often find around tall buildings. Another problem in built-up areas is that traffic noise is intensified by tall buildings. By planting a belt of trees at the side of the road, you can make things a little quieter, but much of the vehicle noise still goes through the trees. Trees can also help reduce the amount of noise in the surroundings, although the effect is not as large as people like to think. Low-frequency noise in particular just goes through the trees as though they aren't there. Although trees can significantly improve the local climate, they do, however, take up a lot of space. There are root systems to consider, and branches blocking windows and so on. It may therefore be difficult to fit trees into the local landscape. There is not a great deal you can do if you have what we call a street canyon, a whole set of high-rises enclosed in a narrow street. Trees need water to grow. They also need some sunlight to grow, and you need room to put them. If you have the chance of knocking buildings down and replacing them, then suddenly you can start looking at different ways to design the streets and to introduce tree planting.
That is the end of section 4. You now have half a minute to check your answers. That is the end of the listening test. In the IELTS test, you would now have 10 minutes to transfer your answers to the listening answer sheet.
OK， 那么我们在听完录音之后，我们要一起来分析一下我们所填的词语是如何填进去的。Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I have been asked today to talk to you about the urban landscape. There are two major areas that I will focus on in my talk. How vegetation can have a significant effect on urban climate, and how we can better plan our cities using trees to provide a more comfortable environment for us to live in. OK， 那么我们会看到这个 better plan。better plan 我们就想到刚刚的 ways of planning our 什么 better， 什么 better 呢？那么一般来说我们就看到是不是这样的一个 environment。接下来 trees can have a significant impact on our cities. They can make a city as a whole 总的来说让一个城市 a bit less windy。less windy 我说过是不是填形容词，所以 windy 就是风的风的 or a bit more windy if that's what you want. They can make it a bit cooler if it's a hot summer in an Australian city, or they can make it a bit more humid. 那么 humid 就是我们要填的这样一个词语 humid if it's a dry inland city. On the local scale, that is, in a particular area within the city, trees can make the local area more shady. OK， 这是一个形容词 more shady. Cooler and humid and much less windy. 你看这一部分的词语是不是跟在这个 shady 之后的？所以我们的这种并列一定会填到，一定会填到。In fact, trees and planting of various kinds can be used to make city streets actually less dangerous in particular area. 这一部分 in particular area 它是 less dangerous. 然后 how do trees do all that, do you ask? 那么树是怎么做成的呢？接下来我们从36题一起来看。Well, the main difference between a tree and a building is a tree has got an internal mechanism to keep the temperature regulated. 那么它里面有一个机能是什么呢？让整个温度是有一定的控制的。It evaporates water. 你看，注意你的答案来了。It evaporates water through its leaves. 通过它的什么？通过它的叶子所蒸发出来。And that means that the temperature of the leaves is never very far from our own body temperature. 它和我们身体的温度是没有太大的距离的。The temperature of a building surface on a hot sunny day can easily be 20 degrees more than our temperature. 那么一个 building 它的这样的一个温度是20 degree more， 比我们身体的温度要高20摄氏度。Trees, on the other hand, 从另外一方面讲 trees remain cooler than building. 它会自己保持那种冷却。然后呢 because the sweet 因为汗嘛 OK， 然后呢 this means that they can humidify the air. 它们能够使这个空气更加的潮湿 and cool it 使它冷却 a property which can be exploited to improve the local climate. 接下来 trees can also help break the force of wind. The reason that high buildings make it windier at ground 在地下的时候就使它更加的多风，然后as the wind goes higher and higher 因为风会越来越高 it goes faster and faster 当它越来越高的时候它的速度就越来越快 when the wind hits the building 当风撞击到这个building 的时候这个建筑物的时候 it has to go somewhere 它就会分散开呀上面或下面左面或右面就会去到其他的地方 some of it goes over the top and some goes around the side of the building 像我刚刚说的有的上下走有的左右走然后呢 forcing those high level winds down to ground level 让这些风去到下面的方向That doesn't happen when you have trees. 但是有树的时候就不可能发生了。Trees filter the wind and considerable reduce it. 它把它过滤出来，并且然后让它减小。Preventing those very large, strong gusts that you so often find around the building. OK， 它会阻碍这样的一些很强劲的灰尘。Another problem is built-up area. In built-up area is that traffic noise is intensified by tall buildings. 那么通过这样的一个 tall building， 这些噪音会非常大的传播出去。By planting a belt of trees， 通过修建这样的一个树林带 ，at the side of the road, you can make things a little quieter.But much of the vehicle noise still goes through the trees. 但是车辆的噪音仍然会通过树传播出去。Trees can also help reduce the amount of noise in the surroundings, although the effect is not as large as people like to think. 虽然它可以阻隔一些噪音，但是并不是像人们想象那样那么多。Low frequency noise, in particular, just goes through the trees as though they aren't there. 就是低分贝的低频率的噪音 in particular just go through the trees 能够通过这些树 OK Although trees can significantly improve the local climate 虽然树能够非常剧烈的去提高我们当地的这样的一个气候 They do however take up a lot of space 但是它们仍然需要占领很多的空间There are root systems to consider and branches blocking winds and so on. It may therefore be difficult to fit trees into the local landscape. There is not a great deal you can do if you have what we call the street canyon, a whole set of high rises enclosing the narrow streets. 也就是说，那种高层建筑在非常狭窄的街道上面。Trees needs water to grow. 注意 water 出来了 They also need some sunlight. Sunlight 也出来了 And you need room to put them. 你需要空间来让它们有地方种植所以 room 是你的答案词 If you have the chance of knocking buildings down and replacing them then suddenly you can start looking at different way. 所以你就可以有不同的方式来看待这样的一个问题 OK 这就是我们这一道题的一个录音原文我们通过找到它的一个关键词和录音原文里面的词语与题目相匹配我们非常容易的其实就找到了答案而且答案词语也并不难所以我们在解决 Section 4的一个关键点就在于你要去把一些单词写会并且写得非常的完美非常的 accurate 如果做到这一点你的 Section 4只要关键词找到你的答案词就绝对不会错了 OK 那么接下来呢我们就要去看一下下面一个例题这个例题呢是出自于剑桥5的一个例题我们来看一下同样的是一个填空题31到35那么他说不超过2个单词一个数字或者是2个单词加上一个数字和我们之前的题法是一样的来看一下它的一个题目到底难度大不大31题 By 2008 carbon dioxide emissions need to be 到08年的时候这样的一个二氧化碳的排放量需要怎么样 to be 怎么样 lower than in 1990那么在这里可能是一个副词可能是 significantly lower 或者是多少倍的 lower 是不是 OK 32 Recycling saves energy and reduces emission from landfill site 这种垃圾填埋场和什么也就是说你的 landfill sites 是你的关键词接下来他所提到的那个单词就是你的答案33 People say that one problem is a lack of 是缺少其中一个问题是缺少什么东西 site for household waste 也就是说它可能说的是我们家庭的生活垃圾是没有地方倒的所以他说缺少一个什么样的地方再来 glass designed to be utilized for 什么 cannot be recycled with other types of glass 也就是说 glass designed to be utilized for 某一个 purpose 某一个目的的使用的 glass 是不能和其他的glass 相放在一起的这样是必须要分开的 In the UK 注意 In the UK 是你的关键词在英国怎么样英国多少吨那么自然而然的数字答案词多少吨的 glass is recycled each year 每一年这个玻璃是被 回收了多少吨的。这就是我们这一部分的31到35的填空题。接下来看36到40，同样填空题是这个表格比较题。那表格比较不超过2个单词。那么有 company， 有 product that the company manufactures。那不同的 company 它所制造的东西是不同的。从 glass 来讲，是 CLF Aggregates 这个公司来制造的。那么他说他制造的东西是什么 ？Material used for making 某个东西。那么他所制造的这些材料是用来制造另外一个东西的。下面一个 paper 有2个公司 Martins 和 Papersafe。那么 Office Stationery 说完之后，你听到之后，那么你马上会听到这个 Papersafe。那 Papersafe 马上你就会听到它所制造的一个东西是 for use on farm， 是在农场里面使用的。接下来我们看到 Plastic 有3个公司 Practice、Waterford 和 Johnson Jones。那么这3个公司呢，分别都会制造一些东西。那么在这个 Practice 里面，某个东西是 for collecting wastes。那么它制造一个东西是用来干嘛？是用来收集它这个垃圾的，那可能是 dustbin 或者是其他的一些 container， 对不对？其他2个我们目前不知道，但是你只要听到 Waterford 和 John Johnson， 一定要去注意，它后面就马上跟的是它所制造出来的这个 product。OK， 那么接下来呢，我们就一起来听一下这篇录音到底是怎么来告诉我们这些答案的。
Section 4.You will hear a student giving a presentation about a project on household waste recycling. First, you have some time to look at questions 31 to 40. Now listen carefully and answer questions 31 to 40.
Well, my group has been doing a project on how household waste is recycled in Britain. We were quite shocked to discover that only 9% of people here in the UK make an effort to recycle their household waste. This is a lower figure than in most other European countries, and needs to increase dramatically in the next few years if the government is going to meet its recycling targets. The agreed targets for the UK mean that by 2008 we must reduce our carbon dioxide emissions by 12.5% compared with 1990. And recycling can help to achieve that goal in 2 main ways. The production of recycled glass and paper uses much less energy than producing them from virgin materials, and also recycling reduces greenhouse gas emissions from landfill sites and incineration plants. As part of our project, we carried out a survey of people in the street, and the thing that came up over and over again is that people don't think it's easy enough to recycle their waste. One problem is that there aren't enough drop-off sites. That is, the places where the public are supposed to take their waste. We also discovered that waste that's collected from householders is taken to places called bring banks for sorting and baling into loads. One problem here is taking out everything that shouldn't have been placed in the recycling containers. People put all sorts of things into bottle banks, like plastic bags and even broken umbrellas. All this has to be removed by hand. Another difficulty is that toughened glass used for cooking doesn't fully melt at the temperature required for other glass, and so that also has to be picked out by hand. Glass is easy to recycle because it can be reused over and over again without becoming weaker. 2 million tons of glass is thrown away each year. That is 7 billion bottles and jars. but only 500,000 tons of that is collected and recycled. Oddly enough, half the glass that's collected is green, and a lot of that is imported, so more green glass is recycled than the UK needs. As a result, new uses are being developed for recycled glass, particularly green glass. For example, in fiberglass manufacture and water filtration. A company called CLF Aggregates makes a product for roads, and 30% of the material is crushed glass. For recycling paper, Britain comes second in Europe with 40%, behind Germany's amazing 70%. When recycling started, there were quality problems, so it was difficult to use recycled paper in office printers, but these problems have now been solved. And Martins, based in South London, produces a range of office stationery which is 100% recycled, costs the same as normal paper, and is of equally high quality. But this high quality comes at a cost in terms of the waste produced during the process. Over a third of the waste paper that comes in can't be used in the recycled paper, leaving the question of what to do with it. One firm, PaperSave, currently sells this to farmers as a soil conditioner, though this practice will soon be banned because of transport costs and the smell, and the company is looking into the possibility of alternative uses. Plastic causes problems because there are so many different types of plastic in use today, and each one has to be dealt with differently. Packrite recycles all sorts of things, from bottles to car bumpers, and one of its most successful activities is recycling plastic bottles to make containers which are used all over the country to collect waste. The Save a Cup scheme was set up by the vending and plastics industries to recycle as many as possible of the 3.5 billion polystyrene cups used each year. At the moment, 500 million polycups are collected, processed, and sold on to other businesses such as Waterford, which turns the cups into pencils, and Johnson & Jones, a Welsh-based firm, which has developed a wide variety of items, including business cards. Well, to sum up, there seems to be plenty of research going on into how to reuse materials. But the biggest problem is getting people to think about recycling instead of throwing things away. At least doing the research made us much more careful.
That is the end of section 4. You now have half a minute to check your answers. That is the end of the listening test. In the IELTS test, you would now have 10 minutes to transfer your answers to the listening answer sheet.
OK， 那么听完了录音之后，我们来看一下录音原文。Well, my group has been doing a project on how household waste is recycled in Britain. We were quite shocked to discover that only 9% of people here in the UK make an effort to recycle household waste. This is a lower figure than in most other European countries, and needs to increase dramatically in the next few years if the government is going to meet its recycling targets. 这部分都是一个前言，接下来你的答案即将出现。The agreed targets for the UK mean that by 2008, 关键词到2008年为止 we must reduce our carbon dioxide emission by 12.5%. 答案词出现了。Compared with 1990， 所以到08年的时候，它一定要比09年要多，对，要多，对不对？要多，但是多多少呢 我不知道，但是08年一定要产生12.5%，这么百分数12.5%这么多，所以在这里非常明显的给你提到了 12.5%。接下来 ，and recycling can help people to achieve that target in two main ways， 两种方法。那么 one of the way 是什么呢 ？The production of recycled glass and paper uses much less energy than producing them from virgin materials, and also recycling reduces greenhouse gas emission from landfill sites and 那么出现 landfill site， 接下来你的答案即将出现 and incineration plants。OK, incineration plants. 所以这就是答案词。接下来33题。As part of our project, we carried out a survey of people in the street, and the thing that came up over and over again is that people don't think it's easy enough to recycle their waste. 然后 one problem 题目里面也出现了，其中一个问题是什么呢 ？Is that there aren't enough drop-off site. Drop-off site 那么刚好打个引号。Drop-off site 就是丢东西的地方。That is the places where the public are supposed to take their waste. 所以非常明显答案，而且后面 where the public are supposed to take their waste 是和题目是刚好相对应的同义转换。We also discovered that waste that's collected from householders is taken to places called bring banks for sorting and boiling into loads. One problem here is taking out everything that shouldn't have been placed in the recycling containers. People put all sorts of things into bottle banks, like plastic bags and even broken umbrellas. All this has to be removed by hand. 所以人们都乱丢垃圾，就不分类的丢垃圾，所以这需要 hands 去把它分类。接下来 another difficulty is that toughened glasses used for cooking doesn't fully met at the temperature required for other glass. 所以 cooking 的这一部分 utilized for cooking 是没有满足这一条件的。And so that also has to picked out by hand. 所以这一类的东西也是需要用手捡出来的。Glass is easy to recycle because it can be reused over and over again without becoming weaker. 2 million tons of glass is thrown away each year. That is 7 billion bottles and jars, but only 500,000 tons of that is collected and recycled. 注意一下，只有这一部分是 collected and recycled 的，而前面的2 billion 是没有的，它是 thrown away， 而我们只有中间的5,100才是被 collected and recycled。所以这里要填到 5,500 5,000。OK， 接下来。Oddly enough, half the glass that's collected is green, and a lot of that is important. So, more green glass is recycled than the UK needs. As a result, new uses are being developed for recycled glass. Particularly green glass, for example, in fiberglass manufacture and water filtration. A company called CLF Aggregates， 这里就是我们的关键词，提到了 CLF Aggregates， 那么我们的答案词即将出现，它所制造的 product 就只要出现 makes a product for roads， 所以 a product for roads， 所以这道题填到 roads，and 30% of the material is crushed glass. For recycling paper, Britain comes second in Europe with 40%, behind Germans' amazing 70%. 但是接下来的公司是谁呢 When recycling started, there were quality problems, so it was difficult to use recycled paper in office printers. But these problems have now been solved, and Martins 出来了 based in South London, produces a range of office stationery which is 100% recycled, costs the same as normal paper, and is equally high quality. 它当然没有让你去填 Martin， 但是接下来 Martin 说完了之后，你的答案即将出现。37题 But this high quality comes at a cost in terms of waste reduced during the process. Over a third of the waste paper that comes in can't be used in recycled paper, leaving the question of what to do with it. One firm, paper safe. 其余的都是空话，我们要听到的都是我们的关键词 paper safe currently sells this to farmers as a soil container， 所以我们答案是 soil container。 Though this practice will soon be banned because of transport costs and the smell, and the company is looking into the possibility of alternative uses， 他们将会看一些其他的选择。Plastic causes problems because there are so many different types of plastic in use today, and each one has to be dealt with differently. Practice recycled all sorts of things, from bottles to car bumpers, and one of its most successful activities is recycling plastic bottles to make containers. Okay, which all used all over the country to collect wastes. 接下来 the Saver Cup scheme was set up by the vending and plastic industries to recycle as many as possible of the 3.5 million poetry cups used each year. At the moment, 500 million poetry cups are collected, processed and sold on the other business, such as Waterford 公司出来了，答案也就出来了 which turns the cups into pencils, and Johnson Jones, a Welsh-based firm, which has developed a wide variety of items, including business cards. 所以其实答案就是在我们的关键词之后马上出现的，而其余没有提到的东西根本就是废话。所以我们要去听的就是我们所勾出的关键词。如果你的关键词勾的不太准确，那么我们的答案也就听得不太准确。所以关键词是我们下去要训练的一个重点。OK， 那么这就是我们在这一部分所听到的一个录音原文，而且我们也去分析了关键词和我们录音原文之间的关系，找到关键词，找到对应关系，我们的答案就会出现。OK， 这就是我们这一讲的讲解。